I just became aware of the existence of Instagram's hottest lumberjack. And he has amassed a huge, mostly female fan base for basically chopping wood on Instagram and TikTok. His name is, I swear this is his real name, Thor Bradley. His real name, I guess, is Thorin. Thor is the nickname. It literally sounds like a gay porn star. I'm just going to put that out there. But gay men follow him too. In fact, I saw some coverage about him from the queer publication Queerty saying, meet Thor.
I already see Andrina's very excited. She says, oh my God, yes.
The hunky, tatted up lumberjack who's going viral for splitting wood. Now, he's not exactly going viral for
Never
just
mind,
splitting
V-Wit
wood.
says, oh good, Brett's going to shut up. Now I have to talk. I don't even have anything to say. Sorry, guys.
This guy, how about we just show a video from his Instagram to acquaint you all with his content. This piece of wood looks like, you know, something else.
It's going to be weird. It's going to be quite the challenge for sure, but I think I might be able to get it to split. Let's find out.
You have to go through the comments as you're watching this.
Yeah.
Chill My Husband is on this app.
I just blocked you from my girlfriend's phone.
This is the most sexual one yet. Well done, Thor. Smut aside, wouldn't it have been easier to turn it upside down and split it in the middle?
I saw zero foreplay.
Come on.
Stumbles running to the comments.
Real missed opportunity to not call out the crotch of the tree that you ran your hand over.
Oh, I think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Moral of the story, keep pounding the same spot, gentlemen.
Not hitting from the back. Not that. Not that. Okay, so
whenever one of this guy's videos comes up, all the ones is like, and 90 women just became pregnant just from watching that.
Yeah, all of the comments are like, my ovaries just exploded. This just got me pregnant, blah, blah, blah. And most of his followers are women.
Yeah, naturally so.
I became aware of this guy because Evie published an interview with him. They called it Playing 20 Questions with Thor Bradley, Instagram's favorite lumberjack. And they asked him, if you're comfortable sharing, are you single or taken? He said, I'm very happily married. Every ounce of my being belongs to a glowing woman whose spirit is bright and positive. That's my biggest lesson from the feminine, softness. I've seen so much change in men as I've aged. A lack of desire to commit from men has led to some shame directed toward women who have a high bar. The result is that transparency is now seen as weak, communication is now short and shallow, sex is the ultimate form of affection, so when someone achieves it on the third date, they don't see value in pursuing deeper waters. So he really got philosophical about what it means to be a man. Well, he's got a lot of time to do that while he's out chopping wood. What else? He's contemplating all of these things in his mind while he records these TikToks.
I don't see headphones in, but I imagine he listens to some philosophical podcasts.
Some Jordan Peterson, perhaps.
Look, oh, by the way, guys, if you want to know what the male equivalent to this is, it's a guy named Acro Evo, which is a guy who does partner acro with women. Oh. And it's just nothing but him throwing hot women around.
Yeah.
And all of the videos are very, very attractive women who are like, I've never done acro before. And it's basically all the comments are guys going, he can't keep getting away with it. Because that's his job is literally to just touch hot women all day. And they're all like, look how he doesn't catch a case because his hands go here. And he's like, the whole point is, it's made for guys to watch. Yeah. Guys don't do acro. These guys aren't doing acro with women. No. They don't know what it is, but they're watching this for the women, not for the guy.
And then there are also those, I don't know if you've seen this, but these suggestive videos made by Instagram chiropractors.
Yes.
Oh.
Have you seen those?
No, I haven't, but I can imagine.
They kind of get a little bit too close to their patients, and there's a lot of content like this.
I love those because so I've done episodes of Ballers where like Shane places, and it's always in foreign countries. They're not even speaking English, and the woman just kind of looks like a porn star. And I'm like, what the hell am I watching? But I'm getting a huge kick out of it because I'm like, it always looks like they're going to kill him in the videos because it looks like the neck is about to snap. Yep.
Here is a hot take from DatePsych on X about why this is so popular with women. Research is generally consistent that conventional masculinity is attractive to women. This is true for physical signs as well as behavioral. Given that it's notable that masculinity guru and other manosphere spaces online are overwhelmingly male, you might think that men who are specimens of peak masculinity, high-value men, would have a lot of female fans. But they don't seem to. In fact, they seem to have even fewer female followers than a random selection of social media users would give them. They attract men and repel women. What kind of men do develop large female fan bases? Well, this man on TikTok whose entire account is him splitting logs is a good example. So I think that it's just very ironic for this guy to be talking about masculinity and what it means to be masculine when all of his content is just quite surface level.
And I'm curious why people end up seeking out this content and following it anyway.
I don't think you seek this out. I think this ends up on your For You page, and you go down this ends up on a woman's For You page. Okay, so she starts out looking at articles from Evie, right? And then 10 clicks later, she's looking at Thor Bradley splitting wood, and then she's like enthralled.
Yeah.
Like this isn't something, no woman just got on her phone one day and was like, wonder what it looks like when a guy splits a bunch of, like,
but I think the fascination over it is actually really fascinating to me because fascination is fascinating. Wow, Andrea. It's interesting to me because have people not seen a man in real life cutting wood? Like that's something that like
your dad did this every year and you never gave a shit. Now
well, overwhelmingly that's not true.
It's a very mundane task. I mean, I've seen my husband split wood and he will use a wedge. I noticed that this gentleman does not use a wedge for some reason. But I mean, that's personally, when I think of like very attractive things that my husband does, that's one of the most attractive things is like watching him split wood. And like Ronald Reagan was notoriously, that was his favorite form of exercise, was cutting wood. Yep. Other than horseback riding. But I think it's so interesting that this is a novelty, that it becomes a trend on social media. Just, wow, look at this man doing this thing that a lot of other men have done, and maybe a lot of men don't do anymore. Maybe they don't.
There's also like there's a market. There's never been a better time in history to have a unique skill set. The stuff I watch
but it's just cutting wood.
But in general, though, like the stuff I watch
is making
on
it
YouTube,
into content the skill set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of stuff that I watch, which is just like cobblers, like men who fix shoes. I can watch videos of dudes fixing shoes, and it's just close-ups of how they repair them and stuff like that. People who build homes, and you see the process for drywall and for bricklaying. I'm not even kidding you. I can watch that stuff forever.
This is man content.
Yes, it is. Okay, so anything like that, anything that involves building something, creating something. This is the time. I kid you not, power washing content.
Okay.
Power washing content. Like, people watch this stuff endlessly. I like the power washing guys because they're dicks and they always make these videos where it's like, this customer tried to fuck me out of this contract and then I screwed him over. Blah, blah, blah. They just seem like no nonsense assholes.
Here's the female equivalent, maybe. Restoring paintings. That sort of, those videos are so satisfying.
Even that would, I think guys can, a dude who appreciates art would be able to understand because there's a certain amount of science that goes into that as well.
True.
Right?
Well, it's just interesting that, as you said, people really haven't seen a man in real life splitting wood or doing anything that's traditionally thought of as masculine. And then because this guy does that on a public platform, he is now a masculinity guru. Yeah. And he's going to give us his takes on what masculinity is and what it means.
Yeah.
And he even said, this was an interesting quote that I pulled, in regard to what is masculinity, he said that masculinity can't be faked. When masculinity is purely expositional, you can smell that on somebody. It feels fragile. Real masculinity is reliability, evidence-based decisiveness, selflessness, and provision of comfort. A sprinkle of saying, I don't know, helps too. But you could argue that what he's doing with his platform is purely expositional.
Yeah, and
That's fair.
It gives me the ick a little bit. You
Also,
know? I
like-
mean, I wouldn't want to be married to this guy.
It looks kind of performative.
Yeah. It's giving, that he wants female attention, and it's like, okay, why?
Yeah.
Why aren't you happy with the attention that you would get
You're married.
from your wife? I don't know. That's
Somebody
just
else
my hot
pointed
take.
out, somebody else pointed out like firearms content. Like I love watching gun modification. And
That
stuff
scares
like
women, so they don't watch that.
Like things like that.
not all women.
I watched this. Like I said, I was watching this video the other day. It was like all the different calibers, all the different rounds they could put through a Cybertruck to see what would actually go through it. I could watch that for hours. And,
So they're actually bulletproof?
not a 50 cal.
Oh, okay.
50 cal went straight through it like a piece of paper.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's and this is just also I think it is fairly true that in an age where Gen Z might not be the most masculine generation, stumbling upon this content would be like somebody for a woman. It would be like discovering fire for the first time.
Wow, men do this?
Yes.
But it's weird because I looked at this guy and I thought, is he gay? That's what I thought.
But the grooming habits do look a little metro. I will say he's well groomed.
And when a man has like almost too good of a fashion sense. I mean, he's getting interviewed by GQ, and he's getting interviewed for all these different publications, and he's making this whole public persona out of it. Something just seems off to me.
Is this gonna be like Salt Bae 2.0?
What is that?
Remember the guy who just sprinkled salt in a video and everyone thought he was really hot, and now he has
Wait, I remember
now
him.
he has
Oh,
restaurants.
yeah. I forgot about that. What happened to that guy?
I have no idea.
What was his arc? His character arc?
What else
They
do you
also
like to-
had
What other content do you guys like to like?
Well, I don't scroll. I don't scroll. I don't have TikTok. I don't scroll Instagram Reels. I don't scroll YouTube Shorts. Most of what I scroll is just on Twitter, and Twitter isn't videos. It's just people's opinions and stuff. It's not like
woodworking. Also,
I don't watch those things.
Ooh.
So, what about you?
Frankly, I don't watch a lot of the short form stuff like these Lumberjack videos. I mean, again, I just don't really scroll as much, but I'll watch some cooking content, I guess, and fitness content. But it's usually on YouTube. I'll watch things on YouTube. I like watching stuff about mixology.
Wait.
I find that interesting.
Is the female version of this Nara Smith?
Oh.
Where she's doing this melodic, lobotomized voice.
Guys don't.
She's
Want
narrating how she makes bread.
Yeah, that's for the female gaze too.
Is that?
That's also for the female gaze.
That's not. I still believe the equivalent for men is the guy throwing the women around in hot athleisure.
Well, this guy, he
Or
denies
a woman's
that.
gym routine.
Yes.
I just think it's ridiculous that he denies there's anything sexual about it, because he said, I didn't realize how many people enjoyed it. Look, you could attribute all this success to wood chopping. You could point a finger at sexualizing it, but there's a way to make watchable content no matter what you're doing.
So knowing that I go to the gym all the time, if I went to the gym and I started filming myself doing squats and posted it to the internet just because I wanted to share my gym routine, wouldn't I just, that is very
There's nothing sexual about it.
There's something very sexual about that, right?
Another example would be Stunt Gymnastics, which is partners, it's some of the craziest shit you'll ever see where dudes, it's like acro, but it's basically competitive cheerleading, which is now a really big thing. And if you look at the comments for it, it's women, but it's also a lot of dudes who's like, she's hot, right? Because they're hot college girls, right? And if you look at the followings, I wonder who has more followers on social media, the women or the men. Well, I'll tell you who it is. The women have more followers than the men because they're beautiful, right?
So men are the majority of the audience on YouTube. They're the majority of the audience at movie theaters. They're the majority of the audience on other platforms like Twitch. On Twitter probably as well. They're the majority of the users.
Wait, on Twitter?
Probably, yeah.
I think Twitter skews male.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
Probably.
I thought you were saying women.
No, men,
Okay,
men.
yes. Okay, I was like women on Twitter. Like,
So
no.
is it just that men are more likely to look at online content in general?
It's like that meme says, I wonder if most women know that when a man shows you a YouTube video, that's a very strong sign of
Wait, what about when he shows you his camera roll? That's a thing, right? I've definitely had this happen to me where a dude will just open his camera roll and just start showing you like everything that's in his camera roll.
What context was this in that this happened?
It's happened multiple times, but it's like, I don't know, they're just trying to like show memes or like,
yeah.
I don't know, here's a picture of my
I mean,
dog
yeah.
or like,
Oh yeah,
here's a
sending
picture
memes.
of
That's
like,
a good way to flirt.
I don't
Memes are
know.
great.
But yeah, I've heard this from a lot of women.
Interesting.
This is something they do. But yeah, I think men might be more online than women if they're the majority of people following all of these accounts.
So the women watch more of the short form content on
Probably.
TikTok,
Yeah.
and men like long form content on YouTube.
So they're just spending more time online.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, how does Instagram skew?
Oh, that's female.
Yeah.
Instagram and Pinterest are the ones that
Yeah.
are most female.
Yeah, I said like men aggregate information and women aggregate images.
True.
Which is weird because I thought men were the more visual creatures. That's what they always say, right? Men are more
Interesting.
visual.
Yeah, but maybe that's not.
Only in a sexual context.
Maybe that's
I
not the
guess?
case. Yeah, maybe that's only when it comes to bodies.
Male artists would talk about aesthetic, but your average dude isn't going to just be like, let's talk about the aesthetic of this.
Yeah, no.
Like, not
They
the
don't.
same
They're not interior decorators.
function over fashion.
Yeah.
Though I did watch this
Unless
great
they're
video.
gay.
Watched this great video this other day of this guy who's like an electrician rating drywall finish, where he's like, oh, look at the way he fills in the. He's like, oh my gosh, there's no bubbling, there's no spattling. It's fantastic. He's like, I wish this was me, but I'm an electrician, and I'm like, yeah, I wish I
Well,
could have done that.
We still like to see people do things excellently.
No, and that's kind of
Yeah.
the
That's
long
the
and the short of it,
ultimate
right?
point.
It's like, and also all of these things, everything we've just described, it gives everyone this fantasy that they could do that if they tried. Likely you could not, right? Like,
With some time and
With some time,
practice.
please go start chopping
Definitely.
wood. You'll find it's actually very therapeutic and it's good to get outside.
thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.